Hey there, YouTube. This is an overview slash recap of the indoor bog pond that I built a couple years ago. Had a blast building this thing. I was supposed to be studying for my NAPLEX, and I couldn't get the design out of my head, so instead I just went ahead and built it and studied afterwards. So it was a lot of fun. I was able to get my hands on some tools and make something with my hands again after a couple years of school. So I want to give a big shout out to the Pond Digger. Saw one of his videos on YouTube. Uh, DIY Bog Pond, I believe. I'll try to link it if I can figure out how. Um, Most of the plumbing design is based on his ideas. So just had a blast building it. I'm going to show you some pictures of how the journey, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So this is what was there before the pond. Just had a couch sitting in the sunny room. Got used mostly by the dog, so we decided to do something else with the area. This was the basic profile layout of the initial design. Coming up is the glass testing. Glass probably a little more than a 1/4 inch thick. It used to be a coffee table, so we just repurposed it. So framed everything out, put it up 18 inches. I figured it was a nice acceptable height. Used plywood to kind of lash everything together, make it sturdy. Went in there quite nicely, everything fit. I'll give you an overview of what the place looks like. My wife got her hands dirty. She got in there screwing some stuff down for me. This was an important consideration because I had the glass going, spanning the width. I made these little wood boxes using plywood as like a tensile strength to hold these corners tight so they didn't move. Worked out in my head, and I didn't have any problem with the glass bending or flexing over the 2 years we had this in the house. Here you also see where I framed out the position for the glass. PVC went inside and the glass just sat inside that little pocket there. Covered the whole interior with latex roofing paint, just extra protection in case there was a leak. Next we got the bog section of the pond put together. My wife's there helping me out, so we had a blast working together. This was my first attempt trying to get the glass siliconed onto the liner. Didn't work out so well, as you'll see. Just kind of put some lumber there and added a little weight. This was the disgusting end product. Me being the ambitious boy I was, I went ahead and filled it up anyway, and we had a little bit of leakage going on. So had to drain it, start all over again, try it. So all part of the fun. It's a journey. More examples of what not to do. Ended up getting this cleaned up the glass, everything. Put one solid line of caulk on there, and figured out a much better way of bracing it. So used a 2x4 brace against the back. Gave us a lot more leverage. And second time, worked like a charm. Filled it up, held water, no leaks. At this point, I just used a carpenter knife and just cut the liner from the outside of the glass, so it was sandwiched in there. And started working on the bog. We set this up and cut the holes. This whole bog system is really great. You really need to check out the Pond Digger and how we did it. Basically, we send water from the pond up into this 3-inch pipe system where the holes are sliced out from the bottom. So the water comes in, low pressure flow rate coming out, and just seeps down and comes up around everything. It gets buried, and like I said, water seeps in and then flows up through the gravel. It's a great system. You got lots of good bacteria in there, lots of room to plant those plants and let them move around. Use pea gravel, as you saw, and then lit it up. Built this box with some shop lights and kind of backlit the end there. Could have been better. Could have definitely been worse. But in the end, it framed it out with some cedar. I think it looked pretty good. getting the flow right on the bog was a little tricky here and there, but all in all, it worked. It probably would have worked better if instead of having that pipe horizontal, the return pipe horizontal at the end of the system, having it run vertical with everything. Ended up getting some decorative rock. Didn't like it. Removed it. Waste of money. Then came the decorative tile. It's a kitchen backsplash that we used on the front and sides, and then I think it was another backsplash that we put on the inside there to kind of dress it up a little bit. This is just the wood joints during Christmas. Here's 2 of the probably 7 electric blue Dempseys that we had. Ended up being very, very expensive Oscar food. After everything was put together, these are my fish. They're much larger now. Just some random pictures of them. This is what it looked like from the outside front window. So UPS dropping off packages saw my house. This was ambitious. We put a 55-gallon tank upside down there for a little while. I thought it'd be kind of cool, but it ended up just decreasing the aesthetic value. So all in all, the plants took off. Left that one window open most of the time. I got a little extra lighting in there. For filtration, used predominantly lizard tail. There's some variegated grasses, and I really like that taro. The big giant elephant ear was a great centerpiece. I rearranged the plants here and there. Was also able to put lilies and some other plants on the shelves. Those little shelf boxes that I made. All in all, it was a great little project. Really enjoyed ourselves. It was a lot of fun. If I could do anything different, I would have made it bigger. Towards the end, I wish I'd used the much larger piece of glass and had it as tall as that side shelf there, so I could just look directly into it all the time. As is, you had to kind of get down on the floor to see some of the good views and the good stuff. So thank you for taking a look at the video. Hope you guys liked it. It's the first one I put on YouTube, so if you got any comments or suggestions, please let me know. And again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And just one last shout out. Gotta give it up to the Pond Digger. He's got a great channel, great information. And also King of DIY, Joey. This is one of the last fish projects I started. I got plenty more, so I'll see getting some of those up here too. But I had a lot of fun in my fish hobby, and those 2 guys have really helped me out. So if you're interested in getting started or doing anything, check them out. They're full of information. Thanks, guys.